Hello everyone, I'm coming for the energy reading of the week. I'm going to pull a card from my Healing Burnout deck, but first I'm going to set a timer because I said I want to stay under 10 minutes and this is what I do every week. So let's ask my deck, what is the energy of the week supporting for us this week? Well, it came out right away. Nearly jumped out of the deck, and the energy that's supported is the energy of exercise. So it says time to move that body more. I know my exercise routine's fallen down the drain, but mostly because I've been unwell and unable to exercise. But I'm going to take this as a clue that as soon as I feel better, I'm going to get back on track, which I love to do anyway. But let's talk about exercise generally. It's not a word that suits everyone. Some people are put off by it, so I could also use movement. If you haven't been very fit, or if you're not very fit, if you're not very in good health, I don't want you to give up. I want you to take the time to maybe take some baby steps towards moving your body more. One of the reasons why it's important to move our bodies is not the whole weight loss fitness industry. It's because when you move your body, you also move the energy within your body, and that helps with your health. It's really important. A body that doesn't move is affected in its health. So try any sort of movement, but try and make it fun as well. So kitchen disco, moving your arms around, moving those hips, whatever you can move, just do it. Don't worry about it being done a certain way. Obviously, make sure you're safe, because there are some movements that can lead to some injuries. And do that because it moves the chi, as the Chinese say. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, because I don't speak Spanish. Chinese, what am I saying? And it's important to look after our health through the movement and the exercise. Now, there is a paradox in this, because sometimes the last thing we want to do is to move when it's the thing that we need to do the most. And sometimes it's because we have these limited beliefs in our minds. We can convince ourselves that we're so tired that we can't move. And yet we do know that when we start moving, the tiredness recedes. So you might have to do a little bit of mindset work before you get moving, especially if you've been in pain as well. So this has been my reality in the past 2 to 3 weeks. I've been in a lot of pain in different ways for different reasons. And the problem with pain is that once you experience pain, you have muscle memory of that pain and you're afraid to move again. Now, it's always important to take notice of pain, because pain is here as a feedback loop to help you understand that you need to stop doing something a certain way, otherwise you're going to get injured, all right? So always listen to the pain, but perhaps reach out to a professional. I have a remedial masseur who helps me a lot. He's helped me a lot in the past nearly 2 years now, probably a year and a half. After I injured myself, first running, then falling on my patio, on my hip and my knee, and then more recently I injured my shoulder and I had problems with pain under my feet. And now, first it was the left foot, now it's the right foot. Now, I guess this is going to take me to a metaphoric exploration of the things that can stop us from exercising, as in injuries. I know for me it's linked to the upper limit, so I haven't talked about the upper limit just yet, but when you reach a certain level of either success or happiness or prosperity, if you haven't been used to experiencing that sort of level, your mind is going to create some problems to stop you or to reduce your level of happiness so that you can actually manage it. Because if you go past that sort of thermostat, then you're triggered and you think, this is not normal, something horrible is going to happen, so I might as well create something horrible so I don't get happy for too long, because it might be taken away from me. So it's a sort of a form of self-sabotage. Now I can see how this has happened to me with exercise. I'm not saying it's happened to you as a listener, but I just want to put it out there so you're aware of that as well. Exercise can take so many different forms, but I think what we've lost in the modern world of exercise is the fun. When you observe a small child, they don't talk about exercise. They just run around, they giggle, they play. There's that playfulness and that joy in moving the body. So this is what I also want you to rekindle, the joy of moving your body, no matter how you move it. It could be that you're having fun moving your ears. I remember as a child, I was really impressed when adults could move their ears. But it's about being playful with your body and realizing that your body is here to give you the pleasure through movement, but also how it's important for your body. The reason you're experiencing pleasure in doing that, at least if you can rekindle that energy from youth or from when you were little. Now, one thing that's always baffled me as a mum specifically, because I've observed my children going through all these phases from babies to toddlers to, you know, nursery kind of age, and then preschool, and then school, etc., is that my children, and all children are the same, they started being incredibly mobile, always on the move, enjoying movement. And then to try and teach them something in school, the school or the teachers make them sit down for long periods of time. That is against their nature. And so then they learn so much to be sat down and not to move, that they have to be taught to move. And so then there's exercise classes, and they probably move at a time when they don't want to, whereas they might have wanted to earlier in the day. And this whole training as children to not move when we feel like it, but also to be forced to move when we don't want to, and create that exercise culture. I think that's why I'm picking this card up as well. Has disconnected us from the beauty and the joy and the fun of moving when we need to. Your body knows when it needs to move. And sometimes we get fidgety exactly for that reason. Maybe we're in a meeting, maybe we're at an important event. I know I find it harder and harder to sit in theaters or cinemas and not being able to get up when I want. And I think we need to honor this in a way. Really pay attention to our bodies and what our bodies want to do. So that's a bit the energy that's supported this week. I think it's in a general environment of listening more to your body. Why does that tie into burnout? Because I think when we're burnt out, we don't feel like moving at all. But we don't realize that we can recharge our batteries through the movement. And I've experienced that at the gym so many times. Not really wanting to go to the gym, although recently, since I've signed up late January, I've been wanting to go to the gym every day. There's never a day where I forced myself, where I thought, I really have to go. And maybe that's another story that I need to share with you. Because this has only happened twice in my life, where I'm going to say the spirit world, the invisible world, whoever are helpers, have helped me to find that passion for moving. So the first time it happened, it was in 2009. I was feeling sorry for myself because I was very unfit and quite a bit overweight, and I had a baby who was now 2.5 years old at the time. And it was my third baby, and I found it harder to lose the baby weight. So literally overnight, because I asked for help, I was inspired to start running. And that passion and love for running hasn't left me since. So we're looking now at 7 years of running, whereas before that I couldn't care less about running. In fact, I hated running with a passion. Well, the same thing happened again with me when I asked for help again for the same topic. Sometimes we go around in circle and come back to the same issues when we need to peel different layers. And this time I was inspired to go to the gym on a regular basis, whereas again, I didn't like gyms at all. But I was shown a particular gym that I would like more than another, and I did find a gym that I absolutely adore, and so it was no effort at all to go there. I hope you get that inspiration, and perhaps if you could lean into the energy of the universe and ask for some sign, from some inspiration, or maybe just waking up that next day and like, maybe you have said to yourself, I want to start running. Whoops, that is very loud. That's the 10 minutes mark. Maybe I'm gonna have to get a different timer. I'm trying different things, so you know, you're a bit my you're my guinea pigs. I hope this video was useful though, and that you've enjoyed it. Feel free to comment underneath with any questions you might have about this exercise card. It's going to be activated for the whole week, so don't hesitate and come and share what's happened for you this week under this video. Thank you very much. Bye for now.